Before we jump into today's episode, we just want to tell you that today's episode of Mzansi in Motion podcast is proudly brought to you by Air Offices. Now, if you're building something, selling something, pitching something, or just meeting with clients, you already know the challenge. Hotels are expensive, coffee shops are noisy, and sometimes you just need a proper boardroom for an hour or two. And that's what Air Offices solves. Air Offices is an online booking platform that allows you to book professional boardrooms and meeting spaces by the hour or by the day, quickly, easily, and no long-term commitments. No leases, no contracts, no back and forth emails. Just find a space, book it online, and show up ready to do business. Air Offices allows you to list your available space on the platform and start generating an additional income from space that would otherwise sit unused. Mzansi, we're in a new era of work. We're building leaner, we're operating smarter, and we're optimizing what we already have. So go check them out, list your space, or book your next meeting room today. Air Offices, work smarter, earn smarter. Check the link in our description below. And now, let's get into today's episode. Jam, welcome to Mzansi in Motion podcast. I see you knew that we were from Durban, so you wore the Sharks cap, hey?
Yeah, I'm a big Sharks fan, man.
Are you really?
Yes.
Nice.
100%. Because a lot of Eastern Cape people are Sharks fans. Why? Because back, especially when I was growing up, we didn't have a team. The EP team, I'm sure you've seen, the EP team is always up and down. Sometimes it doesn't even have a team to put out.
Yeah.
So a lot of people growing up, I was at school in the 2000s, early 2000s, and a lot of good players from Eastern Cape would go to the Sharks Academy.
Yeah, like the Hendrickson brothers.
Yeah, stuff like that. So then you ended up supporting Sharks because of that. Yeah, a lot of us from Eastern Cape ended up supporting Sharks.
So despite the fact that you're in Cape Town, you got the Stormers.
Yeah, I don't know. The Stormers bug just never bit me, bro. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to change because I've been here for 16 years, so I feel like if I changed, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. But the general consensus is gents can't change their sports teams after.
You're an Arsenal supporter.
I'm an Arsenal supporter.
That's the worst one.
That will never change.
Really?
That will never change.
No, you patriotic to Arsenal?
Mate, look at the tattoo, bro.
Oh, you got a Gunners tattoo
Gunners
on your
tattoo,
arm.
bro, yeah.
That is... Okay. So Eastern Cape, Sharks, that makes sense. Where in your life did you think Arsenal was the...
Arsenal, they had a lot of black players at the stage, right? Remember when they had Henry, they had Lauren, they had Patrick Vieira, they had Kanu, they had Ashley Cole, they had Cola Torre, they had Gilberto Silva. So it was just like, hey, bruh, those are the bras. And Henry is this black guy who's just cooking non-stop. And I got sucked in, bro. It was just cool seeing.
So this was what, 2005?
Yeah, around 2000. So I started supporting them in 2002. Around there. Yeah.
You just never let it go.
I never let it go, man.
So you know what you remind me of? You know that meme where it's like a girl says, "How loyal are you?" and it shows you as a young kid in Arsenal.
I'm a very loyal person, bro. Especially with my teams. But like I say, Sharks, Stormers, Thing is, Sia's coming back to Stormers, so I might have to shift.
You rock with Sia, eh?
Yeah, that's my guy, bro. That's my guy. I've known that guy since 2005, so I've known him for some time.
Oh,
bro.
Before he became...
Yeah. So he went to a rival school of ours called Grey PE.
Okay.
And then my brother was his matric. So when he was in grade 8, so we're the same year. He was in grade 8. My brother was his matric.
Yeah.
And there's a mutual friend that we have. His name is Olisa Willem.
Yeah.
And Willem lived literally down the road, and there was a couple of grey boys who lived on the same road as me.
Yeah.
And obviously on weekends they'd invite Sia to their house or whatever because he was a boarder.
Yeah.
And then we met there, and we sort of kept.
So it's like homies before. It just happened to be that you became.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, I never thought I'd get any, I'd become a comedian, whatever. But with him, you could tell from, I remember it was grade 11, 2008. You could tell this dude is gonna be a rugby player for sure. Springboks, we don't know, but he is gonna be a full-time professional player.
Was that good?
Mate, he's 2008, just if you ask anyone from that era, his 2008, 2009 performances, it's like he was waiting to play at a higher level. Like what was happening around him, it was like small. Like he just read the game better than anyone. His sheer power, brute force. Like you see, sometimes they'll post some of his pictures, like when they do these. It's sort of like state of origin, like they'll do pictures on URC, like where a guy used to play. So like, for example, Nizam Khan used to play for Bishop, so they'll show him in his Bishop's whatever in 07. They showed a picture of Sia, and it was literally 3 guys tackling him at the same. That's how mate.
Was he always a flank?
Yeah, he was a number 7 back then. So he started off as an 8th man, grade 8. Then he had this crazy growth spurt in like under 16.
Yeah.
And then he became what you see now, like just this player who just...
He's built like a brick shit house. He's huge.
Yeah,
he like honestly.
Yeah.
08. So I went to the rival school, St Andrews, which is much smaller, but Grey is our biggest.
I can see where this is going.
Yeah, Grey is our biggest. Like when we beat Grey, our school.
You beat Grey.
In 09 we beat.
So your matric year.
Yeah, we were.
And you were playing first year.
No, I wasn't playing first team.
Hi, Bo.
I wasn't playing first team. I wasn't playing.
Really?
What position did you play?
Prop. I'm a prop.
Oh, but
Yeah,
I mean,
of course,
what team were you in?
I was in thirds. And I played a couple of games for seconds, but I was third team captain actually. But we beat our first team beat them that day in one of the craziest games ever. And Sia wasn't meant to play that game. And if anyone ever sees this clip, they'll know they started panicking in the second half because we came back. So the first half, I think the score was 16-5 to Grey.
Oh my word! Okay.
And then so it looked like it was going one way.
Yeah.
And we came back and we hit back, and then you just saw like on the other side, Sia was warming up. I'm not even joking. Sia started warming up, and it was basically they sent him in to come save the day, and St Andrews still prevailed, bro. And when people's parents were crying, grade 8s were crying like we beat Grey. And it was the day of our matric dance at St Andrews. So like, yo,
bro, is this like top 3 days in your life?
Yeah, mate. I really love sport and like especially schoolboy sports. I think like because that's where you see them like before people get corrupted by professional sports. And I've always enjoyed
sports.
That's where you see the raw talent. You see guys having fun. War cries. That whole vibe. I always enjoy it. So for me, those memories will stay forever, bro. Like, and then a lot. My best friend was like Grey. So like, we'd also obviously have banter and whatnot. So it was a good vibe. Yeah.
You and Sasha, Springbok Sasha, you guys are mates?
Mates is a stretch. I would never take it to mates, but we know each other. I've known him since he was in matric actually. So his brother Nathan, he used to live next door to me and my brother in Gardens.
Yeah.
So then there was COVID that hit, and then obviously a lot, like most guys had to be sent back home, and then Sasha would go stay with his brother most of the time, and that's where I got to meet him.
Just neighbors.
Yeah, literally neighbors, bro.
That's boss, man.
And yeah, he was the nicest kid, bro. Polite, would like call us sir, and we'd be like, nah, bro, there's no need to call us sir. Like we, you know what I mean? Yeah, we're not sirs.
Yeah.
You just call jam, whatever. But he was polite, he was proper, and I didn't know that he was that good at rugby, and then until his brother showed me some of their clips, and I was like, oh, okay, this kid, but I still didn't know it was gonna go to like this level where he's just like, I mean, he's benched Pollard, which is crazy.
He's a golden boy,
Mate, Pollard himself is a golden boy. People don't realize Pollard played for the Springbok under-20 team when he was in matric. You know how crazy that is? I did
not know that.
You know how crazy that is? And they won the World Cup. You know how crazy that is? When you're in matric, other people...
You're in matric and you're like...
Mate, bro, other people are stressing about match paper 3. Bro, this guy's like, dude, I'm stressing about the junior All Blacks. So... You know what I mean?
Different levels to the game.
Yeah, but there's levels. So Pollard is crazy. Now for a guy to come and be like,
Bench Pollard.
yo man, I think you might have to watch the game from the seats.
Yeah.
You gotta respect Sasha, bro. I call him Kid Chocolate, bro. That's my guy.
Kid Chocolate.
Kid Chocolate, bro.
That is so boss.
Kid Chocolate.
Kid Chocolate. If that blows up as Kid Chocolate, you gotta.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll call you that.
I don't want any royalties, nothing. He deserves everything that he's getting, bro. He works hard and he plays well, and I bumped into him a couple of times at different, sometimes as a content creator, you get invited to some of these activations or whatever. So I bumped into him, and still very chilled guy.
Yeah.
Obviously now it's like the Springboks are like South Africa doesn't really have a celebrity culture.
Yeah.
But the Springboks are
the
celebrities.
Yeah, they are.
Like those guys, people will stop them and like.
You're a celebrity,
Nah, I'm not a celebrity.
What do you mean?
People just recognize me from Instagram or my shows. I'm talking about where people stop like what they're doing and they're like, we have to have a photo with it. That's what Springboks.
Yeah,
doesn't matter where they are. That's why they gotta almost move incognito because mate, those are they real celebrities.
Well, I saw Sia at the airport once, and now naturally I'm like any other guy who's like, you see Sia, but now I watch this video where it's like, don't go ask them for a picture. So I'm like, I gotta play it cool, you gotta like act chilled about it. Not everyone's just piling this guy on, asking for pictures. So I was sitting with my back towards him, but I knew he was there, but I didn't want to now go be like in his face. And then the chick in front of me who I'd never met was like, she's like, had a phone out. She's like, I want a picture. She's talking to someone on the video call. So I turn around, now I'm acting like we mates. I'm like, Sia, and he looks at me and I'm like, can she get a picture? Like I'm doing her a favor.
Yeah.
And he's like, you want a picture? No. Like he said it just to flick me, just to make fun. And I'm like, no, not me. And he's like, oh, she wants you, she can come.
Yeah.
And then he came, and then she took the photo, and he went, as he walked past, he even greeted the person on the video call. Bro, it was like Michael Jackson's cruising through an airport.
Man.
The people that flock around him.
Yeah, that's him.
insane.
But he'll make time. He's always been a very humble, cool guy.
It doesn't. You don't feel like you're around. It's not like a celebrity where he's like, no, none of this. He's like always, and he jokes with you. He doesn't just take the photo. He talks to you.
But like you say this thing, mate. I've been so lucky and privileged to just work in these like sports spaces because I've done a lot of work with like Super Sport, the Sharks, SA Rugby even.
Yeah.
And mate, like, I've got a nice story about when I first met one of my goats, Makai Ntini. Like that's the picture on my. That's my WhatsApp picture. Yeah. So I was doing this activation, or not activation. I was doing an interview with Drickus. Remember when Drickus won the championship for the first time?
Yes.
So I had done this campaign, which was cool on social media, that they need to do the fight commentary in Xhosa commentary.
Okay.
And I did this and it went viral and whatnot. Then Supersport were like, okay, we're gonna do this. But then Supersport were kind enough to be like, yo, when Drickus arrived, we want you there, and we want you part of like the
arrival team.
Yes.
Nice.
And we want you to be part of the podcast with them. So on their podcast, channel on YouTube, it's still there, that interview. So we did the first interview with him like at home. So like, bro, his eyes are still
busted up.
Yeah, he's still busted up, bro. His lip is hanging up, bro. It was fresh, bro.
Yeah.
Like this guy just been beaten.
Yeah.
And then, so I was staying at the hotel. Fast forward to the Makai, staying at the hotel. So I didn't know this is the hotel that when Supersport, you put their people up in that hotel.
Okay.
So they obviously have some deal or whatever. I walk past the bar because I'm going for dinner. I walk past the bar and I see this like biggish black guy, gray hair, and I'm like, is that Buddha? Like, is that Mac? Like Buddha Mac? So I walk past. Then I walk past again. I'm like, that's Mac, and I'm just like, he was watching like Sundowns versus someone. I remember like he was watching like a PSL game, just marinating, and I was just like, I don't want to be that guy, bruh.
Yeah.
Then luckily there's another commentator who who's a junior commentator who knows me and who saw me there, hey champ, what's up, man?
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, bro, please, can you ask Mac if I can have a photo? And he goes to speak to Mac.
Yeah.
And Mac's like, bro, what are you scared of? Like in Xhosa, you say, hey Mac, jump, come take a picture, bro. What are you scared of? And I was just like, oh man, this is such a cool moment, bro. Like,
So that was your idol.
Yeah, growing up. Oh man, Mac in cricket, I love cricket's the first sport I loved.
Really?
And Mac
How are you feeling?
Mate, that wasn't, people talking about choking, that wasn't even a choke. That was Shukri, the coach said that wasn't a choke, that was a murring. Right? He says he even said there's a South African word for this, murring. We got murred. Mate, that was crazy. There was not a single moment in that game where I thought we can turn this around. So shout out to New Zealand because we beat them in the group stages.
Yeah, you beat early in the tournament.
Yeah, early in the tournament we beat them. And mate, I thought it was gonna be us in the final, and we were gonna wait for whoever's gonna battle it out on the other side of the final. But the boys are coming home, bruh.
Well, that was crazy, eh?
Yeah, early holiday.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the craziest experience, how unexpected was that for you specifically?
It was about an 8-9 because the New Zealand team doesn't have stars.
Yeah, it's a team you hear like South Africa, New Zealand, like, oh, we're gonna get to the final.
Yeah,
you just
man. It's
think,
I was speaking to a friend of mine. I was like, but the New Zealand team, like the 2010s, when they had I just blessed myself. When they had the Ross Taylors and McCullum and Bolt and all these guys, that was a formidable team. So when we lost to them in 2015 in the Cricket World Cup semi-final, it was like, okay, this team can. And then they ended up even going to the final of the 2019 World Cup.
Yeah.
So the 2010s, New Zealand had a formidable Black Caps
team
situation.
Yeah.
But now, these guys were no-name brands, man. At least I thought. And then they came and whooped. They beat the brakes off the Proteas. They beat us,
That was
man.
crazy, eh?
They were doing trick shots.
Right.
They were everything.
It was like watching your first team play your grade 8s.
Mate,
you know, and it's like let's see what we can have.
It was too different, and I don't even know if the players themselves can understand what just happened to them. You know, they just got violated, and they're like, they're in shock right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like on the flight, they must be like, Did that
just happen?
Did that just happen?
The whole world saw it.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know Ana de Armas?
Who?
Ana de Armas.
No.
You know her. I know you know her. She took part in that movie with Ben Affleck.
This is a South African lady.
She's not South African. She's like, I think Mexican. Hey? No.
What about her?
That chick there. Have you seen her before?
Oh yes, she was in that movie with
Ben Affleck.
She did wasn't she in that war movie where those guys was it War Dogs where they sell undercover arms with
Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
Was she
in that?
Was she not
know.
the other dude's girlfriend?
I watched the movie.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
her? What about her?
Her, Sydney Sweeney and Margot Robbie.
Sydney
Bang, marry, kill.
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
Marry.
What is it?
Bang. You have to bang one, you have to marry one, you have to kill one.
I'll bang that lady. And then marry Sydney Sweeney, and then
You kill Margot Robbie.
I mean, I wouldn't kill her myself, but this is part of the game. Once again, I'm not advocating for any killing of Margot Robbie, but she would be the one that had to go. Sydney Sweeney, I'm a big Sydney Sweeney fan, bro.
Yes.
I was about to say, you seem pretty quick with the Sydney Sweeney.
Yes,
Is that true?
Nah. She's got a fan, bro. She's got a friend in me, bro. As they say in Toy Story, you got a friend in me. She's got a friend in me, man.
Okay, in the whole globally.
They could cancel her. She could say the most racist stuff, and I'll still be like, Sydney Sweeney, let's continue. I'm part of your followers. Let's continue this thing. Man, she could come out here doing Kanye West crazy stuff. Sydney, every time I see Sydney Sweeney, I'm just like, what? Like, bruh, it's just ugh.
Are you going to see your latest movie? The Housemaid.
The one I want to watch is she's in some boxing movie. I'm a boxing fan.
Oh yeah, I want to watch that too. What
That one's great. Okay, wait. So, is she your number one globally?
Globally. Nah.
Who was the number one before her?
Globally. Yo, that's a good one globally, bro.
Like, let's say, for example, you're in a relationship and you get a hall pass. Who's your hall pass?
Probably maybe Beyonce.
And that girl, really?
I've been a Beyonce, bruh. They even have a song for Beyonce. Happy birthday, Beyonce. Have you seen that? Yeah, there's some South African guy who. But Beyonce. Who else?
Bro, you're the first person I know to choose Beyonce over Rihanna.
Nah, Beyonce, bruh. Who else is like? Yeah, I mean,
But okay, so in your eyes, Beyonce at 10.
yeah,
And Sydney?
10.5. She's on her own scale, bruh. Sydney is cooking right now.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Jam, what do you think about, now we're talking South African politics, what do you think about the current state of South African politics and specifically Helen Zille becoming the mayor or potentially becoming the mayor of Joburg?
We find ourselves in a very interesting scenario where Joburg, I was recently there, Joburg is in tatters, the service delivery is bad, so it is ripe for someone to come through and take over, but Helen Zille, like, the thing is, I feel you have to, you can't just do it for the one side, you must do it for the other side as well. When people say the ANC leaders are too old, it must also apply to the DA leaders, and that is, I think she might be a bit too old, because we've complained for years that the ANC leaders know they go on well past their sell by date. Why is that not being said about Helen Zille? Helen Zille has a good track record in the Western Cape, but I feel Western Cape sometimes is easier to probably manage than some of the rest of the country, but that doesn't excuse how poorly the ANC has been doing in those areas. The state of politics, I thought the GNU was gonna be more of a collective effort to really sort of sort out some of the pressing issues of unemployment, high crime rates. But the GNU, I think, has, as much as we're trying to back it as much as possible, there's not anything major that the GNU can actually say that they've achieved or done.
Yeah.
People have gone on with their portfolios, the different ministers who've come in from different parties. But you can't say GNU in the last 2 years has dropped unemployment by a shocking number, where we look and we say, okay, this thing is working. How often do you even see them collaborate? They're always disagreeing over things. It seems like it's always they bickering, or this thing, people are walking on eggshells, where it's like these people were meant to come together and say, okay, political differences aside, these are the challenges facing the South Africans who voted for us. Let us put our efforts into sorting out the crime. How do we do it? How do we sort out the crime? How do we sort out unemployment? How do we sort out these violent crimes, gender-based violence? How do we move as a collective to actually address these issues? And I have not felt any of that from the GNU. It just seems like people are going on business as usual, and some guys have just been upgraded from being normal parliament members to being ministers, and they're comfortable. So for me, I expected more from the GNU. I'm a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
And what is your take on John Steenhuisen stepping down as the DA leader?
I think it.
You called it, hey? You put it on your story.
Yeah, I did call it. Why? Because I still feel. And by the way, I get along well with John Cena. I've met him. I've done a couple of I emceed a couple of gigs where he was at.
Yeah.
We've had a chat.
Yeah.
We even shared a drink together. So people always think that I'm coming at him from a place of hate, or I just do not believe that he is the most competent person to lead the DA. I've always looked at someone who I thought was
Jordan
more
Hill
of the
Lewis.
people is Jordan Hill Lewis. I
Yeah.
feel like he's on the ground. There was even that guy from KZN, Chris
Papas.
Papas, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where I looked at him and said, I see potential here. This guy is
Yes.
in the, he's putting his ear to the street,
He is.
going to visit different, sort of communities to see what are your issues,
Yeah.
what's going on here, what's thriving, what's not thriving, and why is it
Yes.
not. So Jordan Hill has at least visually done that, where you see him week in, week out
On the street, literally on the street.
saying, hey, we've reopened this swimming facility.
Yes.
We've reopened this park that was meant to be for children to come play, and because of wear and tear, whatever, now we've fixed it, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what communities want. They want their things to be fixed, and they want the things to be working in the community. So you need to have leaders like that who you look and you say, okay, he is actually doing what he said he would do.
Yeah.